Good morning, I'm Timothy, CEO at EarlySight. Did you know that vision loss is one of the biggest fears among all possible health outcomes? But more than a fear, it's a reality for 46 million people worldwide who are affected by a retinal disease, incurring a huge amount of direct cost and visual impairment, which could be avoided if diagnosed and treated early. Why is that? Because the problem is, currently, the regular iPhone cameras are not accurate enough to make such a diagnosis. At EarlySight, we developed and invented an iPhone camera which is protected by patents and as fast and easy to use as the regular instrument. But when a regular instrument which will show this kind of rough picture of the fundus, the EarlySight technology enables a microscopic view of the retina by imaging and quantifying the tissue at the cellular level. So, let me take the example of glaucoma disease, where a patient goes to the doctor with an abnormal eye pressure but no damage on the retina. 4 months after, the doctor won't see any change. However, a year after, the patient might have already vision loss. With the EarlySight technology, we'll have a baseline measurement at the cellular level such that 4 months after, we can see the disease progression, so the doctor can treat the patient at an early stage, leading to a decrease of the treatment cost to 75%. So our business model is based on the sales of our instrument for 100K to the public and private hospitals. And with more than 1,000 centers in Germany, this leads to 4.5 billion euros total available market worldwide. And regarding the timelines, we validated the technology with about €1 million of research grants. And the next milestone is the clinical study over about 100 patients. And we're going to use, if awarded, the Headstart grant to finalize our clinical prototype and perform the clinical study. At EarlySight, we are 4 co-founders. I, as a CEO, have a PhD in optoelectronics for biomedical applications. I started this project as a postdoc. Mathieu is a talented and highly experienced optical engineer. Christophe is an entrepreneur. He's already founded 2 startups, afterwards acquired, so successful exits. And Francine is the medical doctor of the team. She's a key opinion leader in ophthalmology. I would like to thank you, and I'm open for questions.
Many thanks. Great talk. One question: how does it affect the treatment options? So, if you get an earlier diagnosis, that's great. Yeah. But what is the additional room for improving or starting earlier treatments and more effective treatments?
So there are many clinical trials currently that are looking at new treatments. And within this scope, we are also relevant because all the pharma companies are looking for new biomarkers to assess the efficacy of their drugs. So it's also a market traction from this side.
I have a question, also very nice, interesting concept. How are you going to enable, not just to make it, but enable your business model?
So the strategy is, if I go to timeline, by the end of 2020, we expect to have 5 clinical trials to assess the potential of the device within hospitals. And then after the certification, we'll start with the class 1 certification, and we'll let the key opinion leader show the best use of the device within all the different centers.
Where you're starting geographically, in what market you're starting?
Europe.
It's also regulated differently, each
country. Exactly.
And within the country also, each province regulated differently.
Of course.
How are you going to approach? So your customer would be hospitals, right?
Yeah, hospitals.
How are you going to approach hospitals? So this is
So we have the medical doctor of the team who is well known, and so far the contact we had, it was quite good feedback because the researchers are really enthusiastic about such technologies. They've never seen such images, so when they are researchers and also are doing also clinics, they are really enthusiastic about the technology, and it's quite easy to have a contact and discuss with them. And afterwards, if they are running clinical trials, they are willing to try the device.
How does the patient experience differ when they are being examined with your device as compared to what has been done to them before with the standard procedure?
Mm-hmm. So if they are diagnosed early, it means the early stage they don't have so much damage in the retina, so no serious vision loss.
No, I mean just the actual examination. Does that differ? Do they?
No, it's the same time of examination. It's for an imaging device is 2 to 3 minutes, and the acquisition itself is about 5 seconds.
So what is your IP?
So we have 2 patent applications right now, which are covering the general principle of the technology. And within the development of the clinical prototype, we also protected some design aspects. And we expect to have a few more patents in our portfolio within the next years.
And you think the CE mark in 2 years is doable?
Well, it depends. The strategy right now we have is to certify the device as a class 1 or class A to have a faster certification. And then even if the device cannot be used for diagnosis purposes, we can still claim that we are able to image the anatomy of the retina, which means the doctors can use it and we can sell the instrument. So it will generate revenues. And that's how we expect to enter the market.
I didn't quite understand that. Is this a new hardware or is this a software based?
It's both hardware and software. So it's this kind of instrument, and you have a software that come with it, which is quantifying the cells and imaging basically.
Did you have already a specific look on the diabetic retinopathy?
Not yet, but within our clinical trial, so it's a pilot study, so we are going to recruit patients from different diseases, and we are going to describe quantitatively and qualitatively the different diseases that we will.
For the last 10 seconds, how are you going to produce the device?
Yes, so for the clinical trial, we have one. And by the end of 2020, we expect to produce about 5, yeah, on our own. But yeah, with 5 clinical trials depends the timeline. We can have one for 2 clients or two researchers.